The number one story right now is Urban Meyer, who is reeling with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I was watching an old piece of tape on the late comedian Don Rickles about a month ago. And Rickles was on a show with Bob Costas called Later with Bob Costas, some of his best work. And Rickles was a very legendarily acerbic comedian. And he told Bob that even during bad sets, never let the audience know that it's a bad night. You don't want to lose leverage with the audience and show weakness. That's when hecklers take over the night. And that's why what Urban Meyer did and the optics right now are so bad. Players now have leverage over Urban Meyer. You can lose games. You cannot lose the locker room. And I talked to Mike Silver, longtime NFL reporter, today, and I said 50-50 locker room, where's it at? And he told me he thought Urban had lost at least half the locker room. Didn't fly home with a team, which is very rare. Don't believe any media person who defends that. It's very rare, especially after a loss, a close loss. You want to fly back and be with the guys. Then when this story surfaced, Urban canceled a team meeting, met with units individually. He didn't want to meet with all the players at once. Many players thought he was not honest in acknowledging who the woman was. And I don't care about his personal life. But I hear this a lot from, Buckeye fans and Urban Meyer fans. And I know Urban and I like him. People say it's a common thing guys do. They flirt after a couple cocktails. Listen, if you work at Home Depot or Applebee's, yeah, and nobody sees it. This is Urban Meyer, a $10 million a year coach. And now the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Shad Khan, is embarrassed and humiliated because he took a huge risk on hiring Urban Meyer. He got a lot of pushback that Mr. College Football could not handle the NFL and was not equipped to coach at the NFL level. He had real doubters. And now Shad Khan, after a series of events, looks like he whiffed. And it's not one event. There was the comment, it's like playing Alabama every week. NFL coaches rolled their eyes at that. It's trying to hire the trainer from Iowa who had all sorts of baggage. Terrible look. It is saying he would cut players if they didn't get the vaccine. The NFLPA had to step in. That was an embarrassing look. Right now, it looks like he just doesn't understand the way the NFL works. And again, this lands directly on the doorstep of the billionaire owner of the Jags who took a big risk hiring him. There's the Tebow situation. That looks silly. Tebow was the least capable tight end on a team with bad tight ends. All of this puts the owner's judgment in doubt. So Urban's in some trouble here. And, let's be honest about this. It's just bad optics. And let me explain that. There was an article in the New York Times a while back about the word optics. And it became a buzzword. Everybody describes things now, how things look to the general public. Now, before the 80s, you never heard the term optics. Then it started to become a term political strategists used to discuss moments that don't really have clear consequences except for the fact they just look bad or they look good. Howard Dean famously, Iowa caucus, 2004, yelled a speech after losing. A lot of people, it was bizarre looking, said bad optics, weird. Suddenly, he was out of the picture. He didn't do really anything wrong. It just looked really strange. And with social media now, everything is optics. Everyone can take a 9-second video and put it out there. People don't care about context. It's just bad optics. It's not illegal, right? But NFL owners don't care about illegal. There's an argument to be made. I was told by a source I trust that if the Titans humiliated the Jags this weekend and they can't reel this locker room back in, and again, goes back to the Don Rickles story, you don't want to show weakness to a group of 55 alpha males. Urban is a guy who's really hard on players. He's really tough. And if they can sense weakness, some of these players will split off, fissures are created, and Urban's in big trouble. So they are paying you $10 million a year to stay at home, live for football, hang out with your family, and not hang out at bars. That's why you make $10 million a year. Drink at home, hang out with family, and every split second you have, and every second beyond that, you're at the team facility. I always said my question with Urban Meyer was never the football. I've watched the Jags play 3 of their 4 games, 2 of them closely. They've gotten better every game. The football part, I don't worry about. Does he realize this is not college football? You can't bulldoze your way through decisions. You have an owner, you have NFL press, national media, you have alpha males, you have millionaires. It's not college football. You can't bulldoze your way through the truth. You're going to get called out, and Urban Meyer right now is.